that one. It may have been playing on his mind a little at Ericsson Stadium last Friday night. He should be settled tonight. Jean Namu, a double last Friday night. The French know he is the danger man. They've even told us that they have to shut him down tonight.
He's certainly the danger man, Clarkie, but I've got to say, I've seen a lot of starts to a lot of test matches. This is absolutely fantastic. Well, Marcel there, he's got a bit of pressure on his shoulders, but I thought he's handled it okay. No one's understood what he said during the week any rate, so... But this has been an absolute wonderful start to the game. And really, Dan Lonergan deserves a pat on the back. I think he's done a wonderful job at promoting it so far and preparing the crowd for what's going to be a great game.
Patrick Ontard looking forward to another battle with his opposite number, Gary Freeman. Darryl Halligan will do the goal kicking tonight. He's back on the starting lineup. Brian Coles, the Aussie, playing for the French tonight. Halligan gets things underway. First touch of the ball for the French. Plenty of Kiwi defenders in there. Brett Todd, a great atmosphere, a great night for it.
Yeah, certainly is. Well done to Palmerston North. The crowd have turned out very, very vocal, and a real tough start for the Kiwis. I think they're going to muscle up, though. The Kiwis look fired up. I haven't seen them this fired up for a long time, as we see here on the replay. Bit of a high shot from Johnny Lomax, but that's just the nerves trying to settle down.
Torreya, 8 metres from halfway. Ontard picks up Frederick Tuxedo. Now, a penalty again to the French. Tuxedo in the headgear. The referee spotted a Kiwi arm in there. He didn't spot too many of those arms in there last week. Maybe some messages got through to him.
Well, there's no doubt whatsoever. Sidera's hand was in there. But a poor kick.
Scrum with the New Zealand feed. Let's have another look at that one. Not yet. Hoppy, first touch of the ball for the winger. Quentin Pongia, 40 metres out from his own line. Now it's a former West Coaster, Brent Stewart. Makes it to the halfway and over. Great run by Stewart. Lomax. Good metres by the Kiwis. Freeman shows it inside to Nama, brings Rich into it from fullback. Skirmish early on. It was Ontard that did the pushing on Ridge. Ridge retaliated. Tempers flowing over early on in the second test.
Yeah, well, there we see Ridgie getting up. No need for that from Matthew. The Arminian blood's boiling out there tonight, but he's got to cool it. He's got to cool it down. That's not the sort of start the Kiwis need. They've had France under pressure for the last couple of minutes, and now they've just let them off. You've got to cool it, Ridgie.
Both touch judges on. An explosive start to the second test. Someone's going to the blood bin. The referee is sending Ontard to the blood bin. He wants to stay on. The referee, I don't know what he's going to say to Johnny Lomax. He doesn't speak English, but obviously it will be Ridge called out. French player warming up on the sidelines. No doubt about it, the penalty will go to the French. So in the opening minutes, they've chalked up 3 penalties. No doubt about this one.
Well, Ridgie's let loose there because Ontar was hanging on to him, but it's certainly not the way to get rid of somebody that's hanging on to you. You've just got to say, please let me go. In rugby league talk.
Kavistani. The Kiwis are in there again. Penalties, 2-1 to France it is. Well, this is out of control now. Three or four Kiwis poured in on the French runner, Kavistani. He's out of there now. A lot of push and shove. The referee and the touch judge is working overtime already. Brent Todd, you've been in the firing line on many occasions in the New Zealand jersey. This side tonight really fired up. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of emotion out there. You know, it's Gary Freeman's last game, and the referee's got to take action. He has now. He's sent 2 players into the sin bin. He had to do something, otherwise it would have just kept on going like this. But the Kiwis have got to make sure that they go out there and concentrate on football. They can't get sucked into playing stupid play and undisciplined play. They've got to be professional. As the line umpire comes on again now, it's just not good enough from the Kiwis. They've got to play football. They'll outplay this side if they just stick to the game. Tudor in the sin bin for 10. Kavistani in the sin bin for 10. Maybe now they'll get on and play International Rugby League.
Well, once again, Clarkie, a very poor kick. Let the Kiwis off the hook.
Reg. 30 metres out from his own line. 0-0 to score. Now, there was an infringement in there again, holding down on the tackle. The penalty goes to the Kiwis. Well, the Gillette replay shows holding down, no doubt about that one. The game marred by penalties early on, and it's Brent Stewart. 5 metres inside French territory. Which team will be the first to settle down? Bad pass by the Kiwis. Hoppy cleans up. Already the Kiwis hitting one up, then trying to exploit the blind side. They've obviously, Frank Endicott's found a weakness, and he thinks it's the blind side play. Watch for the Kiwis to use that today. Now it's Lomax. The skipper takes them on. Right in front of the uprights. 25 metres out on the final tackle. Namu chances his arm. Freeman! The handover, that is the 6th tackle. Half a chance there for the New Zealanders. The best we've seen from them so far. Millet up from fullback. Now the French. Trying to run it out of their own red zone. This will help them. The Kiwis testing the referee with the 10-metre rule tonight. And it's backfired on them. Another penalty.
Well, what they have to be careful of, Clarkie, at the start of a big game like this, it's quite often the side that's defending that gets penalised the most, because they try and come in with big gang tackles and sometimes get just too carried away, which is what's happening with the New Zealand side at the moment. They've got to try and go up one-on-one as often as possible and stop giving away these penalties. Ontar, up towards halfway. Can't get away from Namu. Yeah, that's a good point, Lo. If you try and put on a big hit, it takes out a lot of energy, as we see Ontar down again. Maybe cop the knee then, but it does take a lot of energy out. What they've got to do is just settle down, one low and one high. Captain looks to be in a bit of pain out there on the halfway line. The veteran of this French team, Ontar. First touch of the ball for Coles. Tuxedo.
Move away, Black, move away.
Torrell waits for the dummy half, 40 metres out from the New Zealand line. Sanar, one of the finds on this tour. Frederick Sanar, the second rower. Ontar, he's on his feet again. Pesh. Well, they may have had a look there. He took his eye off the ball that time, Millet. Well, you can't really blame him for losing the ball there. He's got big Jared McCracken bearing down on him. He's just a monster.
and he monstered the Frenchman.
Freeman. Namu. The French have it. Mistake on the first tackle. They might pay for it. They can't get the pass away. This should be a penalty to France. McCracken was in the offside position. That's what the referee is signalling. As we have another look at it on the Gillette Series replay, Freeman tried to do a little bit too much with it. 1 or 2 steps too far.
No, I think Gene Namu overran the ball then. That was the problem. That was danger signs for the Kiwis as well, because the French were prepared to attack straight away. Could have been dangerous.
Chance for the French. 0-0 the score. They're 20 metres out, right in front of the uprights. Torreira, again a dummy half, waiting for it. Options either side of the field. He goes to the left, and he picks up Chompy. Chance here. Brian Coles. The first time he started in a test match for France, and he gets the first 4-pointer. Australian-born Brian Coles. And the French are on a roll. 4 points to 0.
Well, this was a fantastic try. Switch back to the blind side there. Absolutely good running by John P out there. But Brian Cole, the new player, the Australian player playing for France out there. A great try, Toddy.
Yeah, they're working to the middle of the field. It's good from the French because it gives them an option. They can go either way when you are in the middle of the field, right in front of the post. And obviously the French then took the right option. They took the Kiwis on down the blind side. The numbers were in the French favour, and just nice little quick hands to Brian Coles. When this guy gets going, he's got plenty of pace, and he's pretty tall too. So good start from the French, and it's exactly what the Kiwis did not want.
The Kiwis have paid the price for coming in and gang tackling, coming off their own man, coming in for the big tackles. That's what's caused this particular try.
Millet from the sideline. Hit the upright. No goal. 4 points to 0. France over New Zealand. New Zealanders fired up from the start.
Well, they've got to try and force the error down this end of the park, but they can't give away an error themselves. They've got to watch this tackling. Don't go too high. Have confidence in their tackling with the one-on-one as often as possible.
Tuxedo.
See, there's 4 players in there. A quick play, the ball will beat that. Fortunately, the French don't know that.
Terry Valero. Pesh. There's the mistake Graham Lowe was talking about. Daryl Halligan. Taken by Bungay, and also in there was Bomati. Pongia.
Yeah, that was good work from the Kiwis. Moving up quick in the line. It cuts down your thinking time, and the French obviously turned it up.
Blackmore gets the fend going, gets the step going. Richie Blackmore, great run. 10 metres out. He laid the platform, but the referee is in there now. He didn't play it with his foot. The penalty goes to France. A basic error as we have another look at it. It didn't touch the foot. The referee sticking to the rule book.
Well, that's what the rule book's for, but you've got to feel for Frank Endicott in that situation, because he knows they were within a striking distance, and to give away that silly penalty was just absolutely stupid. 6-2 there in favour of the French side. New Zealand has got to settle down. One thing working for the Kiwis at this stage, the referee is allowing the outside defence of the New Zealand side to come up quickly in the umbrella situation, as we saw then, making the French come back inside.
Big defence here by Johnny Lomax. Torreira picks up 8 to 10 metres from dummy half. On tar. He sends Matthew Ridge back, but he gets a good bounce over. That's a good kick by Patrick Ontar. The scrum will be 10 metres out from the New Zealand line.
That is good play from the French halfback there. A great kick into the corner pocket. This is a danger area for New Zealand down here. They've got to make sure they don't cough up the ball, give away possession, and that's exactly what the French side will be trying to get them to do. They'll be coming in with their own gang tackles down this end of the park.
Hoppy. It's all France in the possession stakes, 70%. And they lead by 4-0 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the Kiwis need some quick play the balls now. They've got to settle down. A good set of 6. Good runs like that from Steve Kearney, but they've got to play the ball quick. Try and catch the French defence off.
Eru makes it to the halfway and beyond. Ridge. Freeman. The French moved up and read that one pretty well. Final tackle on the way. Namu kicking in to Stefan Millet. No real pressure on the fullback. Plenty of chasers there, though. And they drive him back. McCracken and Ridge. The Kiwis looking to force another mistake as the French try and run it out of their red zone, their 20-metre mark.
Well, New Zealand can use their size advantage here. There's a lot of big size. There's one of them there. Pongia flying in with Lomax. That's a huge size advantage, that, and that's what they can use to force that error.
Kabustani and Tuta getting ready to come back from the sin bin. Ontar, switch of play to the blind. Not quite the blind, but a switch of play. There's no way through for Jean-Pierre. Torre. Matthew Ridge. Freeman. Halligan.
What the Kiwis got to do from a kick return like that is spin the ball wide early. I reckon that'll catch the French off. They're very slow at coming up. They're not a very good kick and chase team, the French side.
That's a good call, that, Toddy, because that's exactly what's needed, because the French don't come up in a straight line.
Lomax to the halfway. Tuta and Kabustani back out there. Both sides back to their full complement of 13. And Ontar picks up a loose ball. Five metres from halfway. Millet plays it. Sanar, as we have another look at this loose pass, and that man Ontar, like a terrier, onto that loose ball. Pesh. Matthew Ridge. Did well to pull that ball in and get away from the runners. Ridge. Great run, Matthew Ridge. McCracken's with him. Freeman. Namu. Penalty. He'll be gone for the Shepherd. The referee is right onto that. And the French get another penalty. Just when the crowd was sensing that something could be on.
Yeah, a bit of instruction going on there. Lack of timing, a little bit of misunderstanding, but certainly the French referee is not going to get much sympathy, especially today, from a New Zealand crowd.
Kabustani, oh, big defence by his opposite number, Lomax. Jean-Pierre, good run by the second rower. 4 points to 0. France over New Zealand. The Kiwis' final hit out before they take on Australia next Friday night at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. We'll have that action for you live from 9 p.m. next Friday. Sanar. Little kick in behind the line. Try. Bad bounce for Halligan. Frederick Bongay gives France an 8-0 advantage. The crowd is stunned here at the Palmerston North Showgrounds. Great tactics down the blind side. It is all going their way at the moment.
Well, Ontar, he's the clever little general in the side. A great little kick there on the Gillette replay shows us. Bontar flying in, a bad pass, a bad catch, or bad ball for Daryl Halligan to try and pick up, and a great try for France.
Yeah, they're showing good options, aren't they, the French? On the last tackle, they kicked it. We all knew it was going to happen, but just a bad ball for Halligan. That's not a good start for the Kiwis.
Well, if we have another look at it, what great placement. Halligan didn't really get a hand to it at all, and Bongay says thank you very much.
Toddy, I seem to feel that New Zealand at this stage is suffering from going in for too many big gang tackles. Instead of tackling around the legs, they're going in for the big hits. France is spinning out of it, and New Zealand's paying for it.
Yeah, well, it certainly it takes a lot of energy out of you. I know when we were fired up, we'd go in and try and put a big hit, but it takes a lot of energy out of you. And instead of just going in and just tackling around the legs and pulling the player down, it's not going to pay off for the Kiwis.
Millet, 5 metres in from touch, slip. He didn't get much support from the crowd, let me tell you. But I guess the French are having the last laugh at the moment. 8 points to 0, France over New Zealand. Two sports action. 2 tries to none. Their tour-director Taz Matiri told us today that his side really relies on confidence. Well, they can't expect a better start than this one.
Well, all teams, rugby league's a confidence game, and all teams do rely on it, but these Frenchmen in particular, they're all amateur players. They're much smaller than the New Zealand side. They did play well last week, and they're brimming with confidence at the moment.
Pesh. No runners with him. Set up a dangerous situation. "45 metres out from their own line." Back to Millet for the kick. Reg misjudged that one. We talk about the bounce of the ball. It's certainly favouring the French at the moment. Nightmare stuff for Matthew Ridge. Now Hoppy. Matthew Ridge, our Ubix MVP, player of the day last week.
Well, that was a difficult ball to pick up, that swinging through the air. Ridgie misjudged it and really was scattering like anything to save what could have been a disaster for New Zealand.
Final tackle and charged down by the French and into touch. Was sidelined with Brent Todd is Jason Williams and Toddy.
Well, the crowd are not happy about that, but down on the sideline he said Jason Williams. Jason, first of all, how's the ankle injury?
Yeah, the ankle's coming real good, so hopefully I'll be available for Australia next week.
Could have played tonight?
Yeah, I think so. Peter Boyle got me back on, so it's feeling really good. But Daryl's out there, so good luck to the guys.
Now, it's not a real crash-hot start from the Kiwis, is it?
No, the French are playing really well, but I think, you know, they're getting a bit of a hand. There's a big 10 metres there, and every time we get the ball down that end, they're getting a penalty. The French are out of nothing.
Well, good luck, and hope you make it for the Aussie test.
Thanks, Toddy.
Hoppy, 40 metres out for the French line.
Way to go, way to go!
Time for the Kiwis to hit back. Stewart, straight ahead, got a good ball, here it is, no! Namu left it behind, and Kabustani comes away with it. Bomati, he's the real speedster in this French team, but he couldn't get around Daryl Halligan. Pesh, the lock. But he can play halfback, and tonight, in fact, he is the 5'8". Total tackles. New Zealand have to make 60. Now it's Valero, another one of the veterans of this team.
New Zealand are playing a really compressed defence, which means they're very tight around the ruck. If the French pick it up, they'll spin the ball wide and go around New Zealand. They better watch it.
They tried the inside pass on that occasion to Ontar. It didn't pay off. Final tackle now. I don't like to say it, but will we see a French bomb? Not quite. Matthew Ridge takes it in goal. It'll be a restart. Back on the quarter line. Halligan. The crowd applauding. Marcel Chaufreau from Saint-Gaudens, the referee. Penalty to New Zealand. (7-3) the penalties to France now. Stewart, the former West Coaster, only knows one direction. Low, that's straight ahead.
Yeah, well, that's where they get their side steps from, straight over the top.
Lomax, centre field. Namu. Kearney ranging wide. Can't get away from Bonge, one of the try scorers for the French. Namu and Freeman. Tudor. Now it's Blackmore trying to charge his way through. Kabustani has him.
He's a good player, that Kabustani, both in attack and defence. Haven't seen a lot of him with the ball yet.
Another stray pass by the New Zealanders. Blackmore has to clean up.
I think the Kiwis should try and get the ball to Sean Hoppy. He caused the French a lot of problems in the first test, and he's just waiting for the ball out there.
An uncharacteristic mistake by Gary Freeman, putting it down on the final tackle. So the French get the handover. Handling errors in the match at the moment. 4-2 against New Zealand. Make that 4-3. Knock on by the French.
This was a good forced error, this, because the New Zealand defence working from the inside out. Pongia moving up, putting pressure on the ball carrier there, certainly with a little bit of help over the top there from Steve Kearney. But good defence from the Kiwi side.
Beautiful conditions out here tonight, but quite a bit of a chill in the air, so the ball is going to get slippery as we see the scrums there. 3 to New Zealand.
Freeman, here's Hoppy. No room to move.
Hey, get off him, man.
35 metres out. Kearney. They're a dummy half. He looks for some quick metres. He gets a penalty as well. The French well inside the 10 metres. Freeman. Now it's Namu trying to find a way. Bridges there. They wrap him up though. 15 metres out. The New Zealanders desperate for their first points. Now it's Stewart. Namu a dummy half. Freeman back inside to Tudor. Tudor trying to set something up down the blind. Good defence though. Tudor wasn't expecting the pass on the inside, and it's got astray. Knocked on, in fact. It is not happening tonight for the New Zealanders. Not yet, anyway.
Well, it isn't happening at the moment. They've just got to settle themselves down, get the basics right. That's what's letting them down. Flick pass out there from Gene Namu wasn't the right option. They've just got to settle themselves down and play some good basic football and put some skill on this French side, because that's what they can do. France missing out 8 tackles there to 3 for New Zealand, so that's a good stat for the Kiwis. But I don't think New Zealand's putting enough skill on it this side. They're trying to muscle up too much.
Yeah, what they're going to do is try and string a few passes together too. Once they get some backup and put together 3 and 4 passes and complete a set of 6, they'll go a lot better.
That's what I'm trying to say about skill, Toddy. You are a front row, aren't you?
I just thought I'd simplify it.
Pesh. He's trying to simplify it as well. He steals about 8 metres. 40 metres out from his own line. The final tackle on the way for the Chanticleers. Great take. Hoppy. Crowd appealing for a penalty.
Well, it should have been a penalty to New Zealand.
I think Gary Freeman's got to run a little bit more with the ball instead of just catching and passing, because he does cause some damage when he runs with it. Puts doubt in the French defence.
Eru! Set Eru! Fall back to beat! What a step! What a run! What a try! Individual brilliance! His second test match for his country. The crowd on their feet at long last at Palmerston North. To 4. This is why Sideru has displaced Dwayne Mann and the Kiwi team.
Well, a great individual try, as you said. The Gillette replay shows us there. Great speed out of the dummy half area and a fantastic needed try.
Yeah, good work from Sid. There was only one marker from the French side, and there he goes, and he missed him. Good spotting. He went into dummy half. He's got good vision. He has a look to see what's on. Beautiful step. You wouldn't think he's in the front row with a step like that. And who's backing him up? But the little master there, Gary Freeman. So he would have scored, but great stuff from Sid Uru, and good, better stuff from the Kiwis.
From right in front, Halligan. He can do that with his eyes closed. It's a better scoreline now. Lomax gets a breather on the sideline. France 8, New Zealand 6 after 28 minutes. Who's have been looking for?
Well, I certainly hope so. New Zealand blessed at the moment with two great goal kickers in Ridge and Halligan, and that could end up being a vital factor in this game, because France have scored 2 tries to 1, but there's nothing whatsoever in the scoreline.
2 sports action, the second test. And Freeman waits for a dummy half. His final test in New Zealand. This is Jason Lowry. He's on there for his skipper, Johnny Lomax. New Zealand now dominating the territory. Tuta. Now it's Kearney. Up to halfway.
Good strong run from Kearney, but they've got to run supporting one another. One out football's too easy to combat.
Freeman. Now it's Freeman. He spots a gap. On the inside is Ridge. Ridge got away from them. Matthew Ridge, yes! 2 tries in the space of a minute. They are on their feet again. It has taken a while. But now New Zealand are in front for the first time. 10 points to 8.
Well, all you kids watching this back at home, have a look at Gary Freeman. When he first took off, the ball in 2 hands out in front of him. Matthew Ridge supporting, as he always does. Pretty feeble defence there, but Ridgey scored the try the Kiwis needed.
Yeah, Gary Freeman's a lot more effective when he does run with the ball. Beautiful little dummy here. He saw the gap. There is, he may be 32 or 33 or whatever, 30, but he's playing like a 19-year-old young Gary. And beautiful stuff there from Ridgey. He backs up well. When he injects himself in the back line, he causes plenty of trouble. The Kiwis have finally settled down. They're playing football. That's what the crowd want. And that's a great try from Ridgey.
Matthew Ridge scores his 3rd test try, 26 years of age now. His 11th test match tonight. 60 points in test. And Halligan about 10 metres in from the far touch. Struck it well, but it's away. No goal. Sensational try, according to the fans. Matthew Ridge will agree as well. 10-8, New Zealand over France. On the Gillette replay, great backing up here, and a great fend from Matthew Ridge.
It was a great fend from Matthew Ridge. Great balance he showed there. Really nimble on his feet, but Gary Freeman was the man. Toddy said he needed to run, and that's exactly what he did.
And I've got the latest on Johnny Lomax. He's strained his ankle. He's icing it at the moment, maybe back on. And there's his front row partner, Jason Lowry, taking up. There's the ankle. Slight strain with Lomax. We're not sure whether he'll go back on.
He's talking to his coach at the moment. Quentin Pongia. Now it's McCracken. Toddy, who would be the captain out there at the moment then? No vice-captain was named.
Well, it'd have to be Gary Freeman. He's the senior player out there, and he's the playmaker. And look at the Kiwis now. They're really fired up, and this is better football, making good yardage, and that's what Gary Freeman and his backs want.
Freeman running again. Inside it goes. Another great pass inside. Oh, beautiful stuff by the Kiwis now, but they throw it away at the end. Just forcing that final pass. But playing with plenty of confidence. Swinging arm in there. Quentin Pongia called out and penalised.
Well, they've got 2 very tough second rows going in there. Quinton Ponnier in particular going in just for that little bit extra, giving him a little bit of a serve, letting the French off the hook, really. But Quinton's got to make up for that. He will. But New Zealand are looking better. Their forwards in particular are running in pairs. They're supporting one another. That's really putting more pressure on the French defence, and that's what's required.
Yeah, they're great actors, though, these Frenchmen, aren't they? They get down there, they don't mind putting it on a little bit.
Enjoying a breather there, Frederick Sinar. Kabastani. Driven back by Stewart and also Pongia. The 40-metre line, French territory. Pascal Jompi.
Keep it down, 11, work on it.
This is a replacement player, the baby of the team. This is Gail Tulloch, who plays with the Wigan club.
Well, there's plenty of talk out there from the Kiwis now. They're telling each other to move up.
And the New Zealanders went for the intercept there. It was Freeman that missed it. The knock on. The French get the feed into the scrum. Well, that was knocked on by a Frenchman, surely.
Not if you're this referee. Anything goes.
Onta. Pesh. Out wide to Bonge. He makes it to the halfway, but he can't get away from Blackmore. Coles. Jompi. Back to Coles.
Yeah, let him go, lad. Good tackling, lad. Good
Brian
play,
Coles,
boys.
the Australian,
Good stuff.
jokingly calls himself Brion Collet. Valero, 40 metres out now from the New Zealand line. Pesh. He's been involved in the game quite a bit. Jacques Pesh. Torre, little kick in behind. Matthew Ridge is back there. This time he gets a good bounce. This time he cannot get away from the French defence.
Sidera has already clocked up 18 tackles out there in this first half so far. He's really working, scored a great try, switched things for New Zealand when they just needed it, but he's really working hard out there, young Sid.
Jason Lowry, 30 metres out now. Eru from dummy half. The crowd appealing for a penalty. The marker. And the skirmish is on with Eru and Valero. The referee says play on. It's been knocked down by Ontar. Sidero reacting to something in the tackle.
Well, they were all over him like a rash. No one had let him play the ball there. Valero really went on with Sidero there, and Sid took exception to it. But test match football of this level, you've got to learn to walk away from that.
And his second test match, Sidero. Johnny Lomax watches from the sideline. The crowd sums up their feelings towards the referee. Freeman in control of the New Zealanders with Johnny Lomax on the sideline. Chance for the French here. They're down by 2. New Zealand have it 10 points to 8 at the moment. Kabastani right in front of the uprights. 21 metres out. Ontar. Pesh. Valero. Plan move that didn't come off on that occasion. Tulloch.
Something the French aren't using is that little inside ball. It was very effective in the first test, and they want to start doing that.
Long ball this time, Dale. They've made a mess of it. This will surely be a New Zealand feed into the scrum.
French being a little bit flamboyant when they get the ball on occasions. They've got to settle down themselves. Play a little more standard football, but that was a pretty easy catch. And just dropped. Lack of concentration.
Hoppy. He puts the foot to the accelerator. makes it to the 40-metre mark. Blackmore. Ridge. Now it's Freeman down the blind side. Beautiful ball, McCracken. Nobody in front of him. What a pass from Freeman. They're on their feet again. 14 points to 8. New Zealand over France.
Well, this was a great play from Gary Freeman, drifting across the face of the ruck, popping the ball up there on the Gillette replay. Shows us Jared McCracken. He just needs these opportunities, and that's what happens.
Yeah, great little blindside play there from the Kiwis. There he is, the maestro, Gary Freeman. He's taken in 2 defenders, and McCracken, what about Crackers when he runs into those angles, those straight lines? Very, very hard to stop. Good on you, Crackers. Now the Kiwis are playing.
25 years of age, 100 kg. And 11 tests to his credit going into this match on the Gillette Series profile. French reeling a little bit now. They're off to a flyer. The crowd didn't have much to cheer about earlier on. Halligan, 50% so far. 11 metres in from this, the broadcast touch. There's the angle, the distance for you. He sends it down the middle. He sends New Zealand out to an even handier lead as we approach half-time. New Zealand 16, France 8, 3 tries to 2. That is half-time, in fact. The siren sounds. The
wasn't very happy. He wants the players, or the team, to settle down and play football. He wants Gary Freeman to run a little bit more and make sure that there's runners running off Gary Freeman when he does run. More discipline. And he wants to start this set of 6 now with the best set that they've started all game. And he wants to play the French in their own half. The French coach, Evan Grassica, he wants the French, when they get the ball, to use the inside ball. It was effective last time. He wants to use that. He wants a better kick-chase game now. He's got a lot of injury worries, so it was a major concern in the French dressing shed. They have got some major injuries. And also he wants more, better ball security.
Well, that wasn't a great set of 6 by the New Zealanders. They made a real mess of that final tackle. Eventually, Namu got the kick away. Now it is the French, 40 metres out from their own line. Long ball, Bongay. Coles at dummy half. This is Jean-Pi. Ontar finds Pesh. Garcia, normally a winger, playing in the centres tonight. This is Bomati. He has had no real opportunities tonight, the French flyer, Pascal Bomati. Final tackle on the way. Came off one of the New Zealanders. But cleaning up there was Quentin Pongia. Halligan, 45 metres out from his own line. Lowry, up over halfway. He loses it. Play on. Knock on now. Total tackles, New Zealand have had to make about 10 more than France so far. Scrum almost on halfway. This is the first of our double headers tonight. The second test from Palmerston North, and it's followed at 10:30 by Winfield Cup action. Coming up tonight, St George and Newcastle at 10:30. Bomati driven back by McCracken. Brian Coles.
Well, it's an awesome sight when you see Jared McCracken coming at you like that. I wouldn't want to be tackled by him. The latest news on Johnny Lomax is he'll be going back on in 10 minutes.
That is the halfway line for the French. Pascal Jumpy into touch. Johnny Lomax issuing the instructions from the sideline. It's good defence here by the New Zealanders. France have been grouped with Western Samoa and also Wales in October's World Cup. The Western Samoan coach Graham Lowe is no doubt finding this rather interesting, this French display.
Yeah, I think they played with plenty of vim and vigour and confidence. Gone real well, actually, and there's certainly no easy beats. They're not the side that I thought they were going to be. They've really stuck with the New Zealand side, but they haven't really got the class to match New Zealand.
Yeah, got a bit of latest news too. The first half was short by 2 minutes, so they've turned the clock off at the ground so it doesn't confuse the referee. So they've actually got a guy on the sideline here keeping the time.
The first half short by 2 minutes. Well, the Kiwis now get an opportunity to try and make up for it. A tackle by Toure. Looked to be a little high. Freeman left the ball behind and Ontar cleans up. Now the penalty goes to France. It's blown up again. McCracken is in there. We saw it in the first test. We saw it in the first half. They have still not got the message. 2 players have been sin bin. What is he to do now? He has not had the respect of the players, the referee. Gary Freeman pushed out of the way by Kabustani. Then he retaliated on Ontar. And Freeman gets 10 minutes in the sin bin. His final test in New Zealand.
Well, that's a pretty tough call on Gary Freeman. Sure, he pushed Ontar there, but Kabustani, he was the one who came on later, and also Jared McCracken. But Kabustani was the man, I think, that instigated and started the whole thing.
Yeah, tough on my little mate Gary there, but it's something we don't want to see out there as fighting. These players have got talent. They should be playing football, as Gary Freeman gets a huge cheer from the crowd. But they should be out there. They're out there to play football. They're not there to box. Forget about the fighting. You're
dead right, Toddy. Should be skill used out there. Skill will win, or lack of skill will lose.
McCracken gets to stay on the field, as does Ridge.
Well, I think there was another couple of players in there that could have been sent to the sin bin. Gary Freeman is the one that was unfortunate.
Johnny Lomax gets back out there. So he'll be back in control of things, Lomax, as the French kick for the far touch here at the Palmerston North Showground. The crowd may have been applauding Gary Freeman as Brent Stewart gets a breather.
And he's done a good job, Brent Stewart.
But I bet Frank Endicott wasn't applauding the fact that he's now down to 12 men. It's the French as the crowd roars here. That's the halfway line. 16 points to 8. New Zealand over the French. Valero doesn't stop trying. He tackled 17 times in the first half. The top, the French tackle count, Valero, the lock. Now it's Kabustani.
French starting to have little decoy runners too, which will help them in their play.
Jumpy. Back to Blackmore. Now it's Lomax. Logan Edwards warming up. Jason Lowry goes forward. The French have got the ball. Play on. Valero. This is the youngster of the team, Tulloch. Again, it's just taking New Zealand too long to settle down. They will not be able to get away with that against Australia, I would suggest.
Yeah, they certainly haven't played to their potential, the Kiwi side. And when they do, they're very dangerous and a very talented and good side to watch. But tonight, they're not displaying it again.
Chance here on the flanks. Bonge. Kick. Where are the chasers? It's going to beat Cole as the line was wide open. Cole's into touch. Johnny Lomax was the first back there for New Zealand. Now, it's going to be a penalty try. Well, this is a real sensation here in Palmerston North. Marcel Chanfreau has awarded a penalty try to the French. Let's have a look at it here. I will let you judge for yourself. Was that a late tackle?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt it was a late tackle, but it definitely didn't deserve a penalty try. It was an unbelievable call from the referee, and it was a wrong call from the referee. Maybe Reggie should have been put in the sin bin, but no penalty try.
Yeah, certainly no way that's a penalty try. The ball went out for a start. Was a late tackle, maybe a penalty to the French side because the French player was going to be first there, but the ball went into touch. It didn't go into the in-goal line. There's no way it's a penalty try.
Well, it is on the board, whether the New Zealanders can believe it or not. 16 points to 12. Bonge, the man who was tackled without the ball, is going to convert from right in front. This to narrow the gap to 2 points. He does it. It is a real test match again for the Kiwis. 16 points to 14. After 48 minutes. Another look at it.
Well, Reggie had already basically committed himself to fly into that tackle as the ball was kicked. If anything, could have only have been a sin-binning offence, definitely not a penalty try. That was a ridiculous, I think, a ridiculous decision from the referee.
Yeah, this is where the Kiwis going to be very careful, though. A lot of emotion out there now. They're frustrated. They can't afford to give away stupid penalties, go head-high, and maybe somebody gets sent off. They've got to just forget about it, settle down and play football.
Good call, Toddy. Quite often, players do get upset with the referee and try and take it out on the opposition players. As you said, they've just got to get stuck into them.
Yep.
Just play basic football, keep that skill level at a high intensity.
New Zealand down to 12 men. Gary Freeman in the sin bin. Tulloch 35 metres out from his own line. Well, they wanted a good workout leading up to the Trans-Tasman series. They are certainly getting it from France. Penalty to the French again. Holding down in the tackle. Well, looked to be a fair call again from the referee. France getting into a very good position here. This is Tuxedo. He's 30 metres out from right in front. Tulloch out of one tackle. McCracken has him and throws him into the turf.
This is where they're the most dangerous, in the centre of the field with options both sides. This is where they're dangerous.
Kavistani.
And he's a danger man.
Good run by the front rower. Long ball out to Ondar. Pesh, that was forward, that ball. A real line ball, in fact.
And great tackle from Matthew Ridge. Real try-saving tackle.
But it's the French spelling it now. Good defence by the New Zealanders, forcing that mistake. The French not able to continue the good lead-up work.
Well, Quinton Ponga coming in with an absolute creamer. That's what forced that error. Great work from Quinton Ponga. He's worked hard both in attack and defence.
Yeah, here it is, Quinton Ponga. Bang! Good hit, Quinton.
Pretty good slips catch here also from Johnny Lomax.
Here's the skipper, trying to get them back on track. Edwards, good ball out to Tuta. Henry Paul is warming up. He got about 1 minute of the action at Ericsson Stadium last Friday night.
It's good to see him on the field because he's a great attacking player. He'll be able to slice this French side open. Kiwis probably needing at this stage a little bit of inspiration.
Bungay, tackled by Namu and Blackmore. Torreira at dummy half. French just working themselves up to the 20-metre mark. Ontar ran out of support but got away from the tackle. The kick and chase by the captain. Ridge has it. Now if they spin it wide now, there is a chance. Namu tried to go through the gap, it soon closed. Halligan from dummy half. He straightens up the movement, takes play to the 40. Edwards inside to Pongia, ducked under a high one. The referee spotted it. 15 is on there for France. That is Lillian Hebert. Penalty New Zealand. To the delight of the crowd.
Well, Hebert no doubt going in high on Johnny Lomax there. Got set back on his backside, but still a high tackle. The referee can see them occasionally.
Pongia having a well-earned rest.
And he's had a good game, Pongia.
At the end of the match, we'll have our Ubix MVP for this match, picking up $2,000. And this is Henry Paul. Beats 1, 2, just can't get away from the last line of defence, which was Pascal Bomati. Blackmore. Big line-up out wide. Quick hands is the call. Logan Edwards can't free the arms to offload. French scrambling back. Now it's Henry Paul, looking for his first test try. Arrow at dummy half. Paul kicks ahead. It's lying loose in the ground. It's going to be a goalmouth dropout. The French have it. Paul almost caught them napping. Kicked it into the upright.
Well, Henry Paul certainly made his presence felt as soon as he's got on the field. A great slicing run to start with. Maybe a touch greedy with these last couple of plays, but he knows how to score tries. He thinks he can get them tonight, and he's not going to miss any opportunity.
Gary Freeman's back on for the Kiwis after spending some time in the sin bin.
I'll tell you one thing, Gary wouldn't have cooled down.
Henry Paul, the former junior Kiwi, who's had a sensational season with Wigan.
A big rap on him from Morris Lindsay, the British Rugby League boss. Morris, who's seen a lot of great players, reckons Henry Paul's the best player he's ever seen in his life.
Kearney. Again, the big line up to the left. Freeman, short ball to Tuta, he's left it behind. Knock on.
Well, Tuta looking dangerous out on the edge of the ruck here. A good strong run from him coming off Gary Freeman, but equally good defence. Brendan just took his eyes off the ball properly, but he is dangerous in that area of the field. This is where the referee, I felt, fell down last week because he allowed the defensive backs, like he has done this time, up offside. Handing errors 8 to the New Zealand side at this stage of the game, but that's a bad part of his game, this French referee. From the scrum, the defensive players are allowed up offside, and that was a pretty tough area of the park for France to get out from, but I suppose there wouldn't be too many people in New Zealand with too much sympathy for them.
Touch by New Zealand, back to one, and Valero thrown into the turf by Logan Edwards. The French have made another replacement. 17 is on there. Claude Sauvon scored that runaway try against the Kiwis in 1993. Kiwis had little trouble winning that test, though, to wrap up their tour of Britain and France. It's a lot tougher tonight. Kiwi coach Frank Endicott told me today that if all went well tonight, he and his fellow selectors maybe in a position to release the team to play Australia a little later on tonight. But I would suggest now that they may just take some time to think about it. Things have not gone to plan. Torreira finds touch on this, the broadcast side. 16-14, the Kiwis over France, the 57th minute.
Got to remember, Clarkie, the French style of play is difficult to play against. Their broken field running is unique to them. Very, very difficult side to play against. They're very unorthodox with it, whatever they do. There, the French referee has finally caught someone offside from the scrum. It's the French side, but that has been going on for 2 test matches.
Yeah, the Kiwis got to run a little bit wider of the ruck. A couple of hit-ups, and I think they'll be more effective a lot wider of the ruck. Maybe running off Freeman, one of the big forwards. This guy here, Stephen Kearney, he needs players with him.
Henry Paul will be sniffing around. He'll be looking for something that can happen out in this area of the park.
There he is with the ball now, Henry Paul. There's nothing on for him at the moment. He gets it back to Freeman. Logan Edwards twisting in the tackle. Can't link up with the support. Right in front of the uprights. Eru waits for it. 18 metres out. Has a run on his own, said Eru. Freeman out to the blind. Short pass. They popped it back inside, but the French come away with it. Just forcing the final pass again, the Kiwis. Valero. Crunched by Halligan.
Yeah, it's one of the real little things that are letting the Kiwis down, and that's ball security. Just finishing that final pass. Once they get that together, once they mould as a team and can get that final pass in, they're going to be very dangerous. But full credit to this French side. They've really scrambled in defence, and they haven't given up all day.
They came to New Zealand on a hide into nothing. Led at half-time at Ericsson. Lost the first test, 22-16. They are not out of this one. 16-14. Final tackle on the way. Ontar, the little general, is going to run it on the final tackle. Coles back inside to Jean-Pierre. He gets it back to Herbert. Keep it alive and eventually get the kick in. Not a great one. Freeman, 5 metres inside his own half. McCracken. Hoppy gets it over to Halligan.
Well, you don't have to be Einstein to work it out, but the next side that scores is going to win this game. It is an arm wrestle at the moment. The next side that scores will definitely win it.
Namu. They stood off him on occasions at Ericsson and paid the penalty when Namu scored a double last week. He hasn't had that room tonight. The kick from Freeman into this far corner. Finds touch. Now the New Zealanders have to force a mistake.
Well, that's experience coming through there from Gary Freeman. He knows the best thing to do at this stage of the game is to play them French at their end of the park. Sure, give them the ball with the feed from the scrum here, but they've got to try and force an error, and that's what Gary will be trying to encourage them to do. The referee's allowing them up offside, so that's to their advantage.
You look for a big hit here from one of the Kiwis, try and get that ball off the French side, because they are playing very boring sort of one-up style football, and they're not backing each other up, so they'll hit it up a few times and get a good kick in.
Territory at the moment, the French are dominating 56%. Possession, 56% to French as well. This man has speed to burn. Dulac, almost caught the Kiwis napping. Now there's a kick in behind, well weighted too. Hoppy gets back. No, how close. French claiming a try. The touch judge signaled to the referee that he didn't ground the ball.
Well weighted kick though, well thought out. Linesman played a big part in this ruling. Very close, but the Frenchman didn't force the ball properly. A good call.
Pascal Jean-Pierre.
It just shows you how dangerous and unorthodox they are. They won't lay down these blokes.
Still 2 points in at 16-14. Kiwis getting a real solid workout as Kearney steps out of a couple, back into nobody. They get a good bounce though. McCracken. Making plenty of stopping. Now it's Namu. He throws the dummy. He's got Freeman on the inside. Gary Freeman will score in his final test appearance in front of his home crowd. No try.
There's only one guy in the stadium that would deny Gary Freeman a try on a night like tonight, and that's the French referee. It was a line ball pass back inside from Jean Namu. A great break. Gary looming up on the inside. Nothing in that. The call could have gone either way, but he is the only man in the stadium who would have called it that way.
There is still time for Freeman to score in his final test on home soil. On the other hand, there is still plenty of time for the French to come back and cause a real boil-over. The French scramble onto that ball. Now it's Senard. Tonight they are playing interchange by mutual agreement under international laws. It is name 4 reserves and play 4, but they've come to an agreement tonight that they will play 6 interchanges. That is why Senard is back out there.
Kiwis going to have to tighten up their defence around the ruck. The French side are making quite a bit, well, very good yardage around the middle. They're turning that inside ball. Have to be careful.
Kick and chase again. Matthew Ridge getting across there, but it's going to go into touch.
There's very good tactics here from France. They know that the New Zealand defence is good, and the French are carrying the ball, so they're dropping it in behind the Kiwi defence line, and it's working very well. Got the Kiwis under a bit of pressure here. Got to get themselves sorted out, this New Zealand side, and get on and win this game. They're in front at the moment, but they're certainly not home by a long stretch of the imagination.
Somewhere in this crowd is a man signed for the Super League. His name is Bill Harrigan, possibly the best referee in the world. I wonder what he has to say about this performance tonight. He's going to be refereeing a curtain raiser here in Palmerston North tomorrow.
Certainly a bit of difference between the referee, Bill Harrigan, and the French referee we've got out there tonight.
Now,
maybe it's experience.
New Zealand having to make more tackles than the French, but...
And it's probably telling at this stage. Penalties well in favour of France, though, 10-6. And New Zealand are having to work hard.
They're just got to be patient, the Kiwi side. They're trying to score on the first and second tackle in their own half. Just got to be patient, get down on French half. That's when you put on the moves.
On tar. French working themselves into a very dangerous position again. 25 metres out.
Well, it's on Tar and Gavestini. They're the danger men at this end of the park.
Senard. Herbert right in front of the uprights. 10 metres out. Torre waits for it. Pesh back into Cavestani. Oh, big hit by Kearney. The French player took a very solid knock here, Cavestani, one of their best players.
Well, that didn't look very nice there coming in from Steve Kearney.
No, it definitely looked like an elbow from Steve Kearney. I don't like to say it because he's not that sort of player, but
referee's within his rights of awarding a penalty right out in front of the sticks here for the French side.
I think he's lucky the line umpires didn't come in and have something to say about that.
Now look at it on the Gillette Series replay. High shot from Kearney.
That made contact fair square with Cavestani's jaw.
Still something for the crowd to smile about. Got a penalty right in front to square the scoreline. May knock a few of the smiles off their faces.
Well, he's certainly in a fair bit of trouble down there, but you see a French player warming up.
It's Frederic Tuxedo warming up. This is a real shame for Didier Cavastani.
I don't think the referee's going to do anything. The line umpires aren't on there. Oh, then again.
One of the real stars of this French outfit. Sorry into his match. Kearney gets a breather in the sin bin. New Zealand is down to 12 men again. Tudor had a breather in the first half. Freeman in the second. Now Kearney. Mark Bourville on the right. Peter Boyle, the New Zealand physio, on the left, helping Didier off the field. Stephen Kearney, does he need any help? The referee has sent him to the sin bin. Bongay from right in front of the uprights to even the score at Palmerston North. Who would have imagined?
Well, those Kiwi players have got to be careful. None of them are back to 10 metres. It's required from this situation here. They've got to be very careful. This French referee is liable to give them another crack. You can see they're well back in, well inside the 10 metres. They should be sitting on the goal line.
He makes no mistake, right down the middle. 16 points to 0. Sorry, 16 all. New Zealand and France.
To get the ball deep into France's territory and force the error and try and convert some points as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the latest news on the French player is he was knocked out unconscious for quite some time, but then regained consciousness.
Torreira at dummy half.
If I was the French coach, I'd be sending a message out there now. Get it kicked straight away down the other end. Never mind fiddling around with it at this end of the park. These Kiwis are too big.
There's that inside ball again. The Kiwis very vulnerable around the rucks at the moment. That's a good call though, Lowy. Get it out of your own territory. A big kick is what's required. The Kiwi chasers must chase out on the kicker, put some pressure on him.
It's a final tackle now. Ontar gets the kick in. Hoppy. No real opportunities for Sean Hoppy tonight. Plenty of chasers there. The French know they are in with a chance now of pulling off a major upset.
The French side have used all their replacements, so these players get to see it out to the end.
Blackmore up over halfway.
And a great quick play of the ball there. That's just what the New Zealand side needed.
Henry Paul. Now it's Freeman into his skipper. Couldn't link up with the support, Lomax. Namu, Tuta. The Kiwis finished with a real flourish last Friday at Ericsson. Can they do it again tonight? Final tackle. There's the New Zealand bomb. They allow it to bounce. Picked up by Namu. He's called a knock on and a handover to the French.
Well, it was a great kick there.
Well, he's called it a knock on, and the French come away with it.
No, well, Gene Namu, no French player touched the ball. Gene Namu caught in possession, so it was a turnover. But that referee at this stage is about as popular as Dracula out there.
On tar.
They're a flamboyant side, this French lot, and you're liable to see a field goal from round halfway for them. They know 1 point will win it, so they'll have a go as soon as they get within 50 metres. They're not going to get it doing that sort of play, though.
It's Claude Savon. Kick over the top. Logan Edwards cleans up for the New Zealanders. On halfway.
Logan Edwards. Good cover defence from Logan coming across there. That Frenchman was so far offside, he should have had a black jumper on.
Poppy.
Well, this is where the Kiwis should get in a good position and maybe try a field goal. I know Gary Freeman's already calling for it. Good work from Sean Hoppy, then he milked a penalty.
Very important on this next set of 6 tackles, in my opinion, that they score a try. They've got to kick the ball out, gain good field position, build up, get to the centre of the park, put some sort of switch on, draw the defence into the middle of the park, and then try and score on the edge.
Lomax. The most important set of 6 for New Zealand all series. Logan Edwards. 18 metres out. A tied ball game. 2 tied sets of players. Tuta. 10 metres out. The French are about 5 metres offside on the blind, but the Kiwis go the other way through Lomax. Freeman. He's lost it. The French have it.
Well, I think
lack of communication.
New Zealand certainly deserved a penalty through that set of 6 tackles there. France has now got one. That's a cruel blow for the New Zealand side. They should have been awarded a penalty themselves earlier on. Very poor refereeing by the referee.
He's ruled that Henry Paul wasn't square on as he played the ball.
But the point is, before France got the ball, New Zealand should have been awarded a penalty, without any doubt. And I'm not saying that from a biased point of view, I'm saying it from a fact.
Inside the last 10 minutes.
Probably important now at this stage of the game that they get Halligan in position to kick a field goal. There's one player in this New Zealand side who could pop one from 45, 50 metres out. Probably Ridgie could as well. But one of them's got to get in position to do it.
Coles. No real room to move in this grandstand touch. Halligan, he dropped a field goal in 1992 to help New Zealand beat Great Britain on this very ground. Who would have thought we would have been relying on a field goal to win a test against France here 3 years later? Marvellous performance by the French. They came here as a bunch of no-names. They've really rattled this New Zealand team. Tuxedo plays it. On tar. Herbert up to halfway. The New Zealanders waiting for the French to come to them on that occasion. Herbert down the blind. Blackmore has him. Sana. Final tackle. On tar. Drop goal. Charge down. Namu. Play on. The call goes New Zealand's way. Now it's Logan Edwards. Namu. Can the New Zealanders pull out a bit of magic? Edwards again.
Well, they've got to go for the field goal. They can't muck around. They're running out of time. They must go for that field goal.
Freeman inside, it goes to Lomax.
They're getting set up for it. They're now within Halligan's range and also Matthew Ridge's range.
Halligan is still out on his wing. Freeman it is. Ridge over the top. Back to Freeman. Out it goes to McCracken. Halligan! Not a great pass. He did well to control the football, but he's into touch.
Well, pretty good passing chain there from the New Zealand side. But I felt they were in a position to go for a field goal, but they decided to go for the 4 points. Difficult pass there for Daryl Halligan to drag in, sliding out over the touchline. That's a pretty good rough play there from the French side.
Yeah, they've tried hard, haven't they, all day, the French side. You know, this New Zealand side, when you look at them in talent, they've got stacks of talent out there, but you've got to take your hat off to the French side. They've just showed plenty of enthusiasm.
That ball was a mile forward, and it's into touch now.
It was deliberately thrown forward. That's the thing that should have been a penalty again to New Zealand. You don't like saying that sort of thing all the time. Total tackles out. New Zealand's had to make 211 tackles. They've got every right to be tired. Certainly refereeing decisions not going New Zealand's way tonight, and some of them have been pretty cruel and harsh and questionable.
Namu. But again, we cannot blame the referee for the lack of cohesion and the drop ball.
That's right.
This is where the Kiwis now have got to get set for a drop goal.
Freeman. Now it's Pongia. He's back on there.
Well, they're in perfect position now. The French well back. Just pop it straight over.
10 metres out.
Clarkie, you could kick it from there.
I'd hate to have the pressure on me, though. Now it's Namu. Will they leave him alone this time? Hoppy, he puts it down. The French are going to pick it up. And Hoppy claims Hebert, or is it Torre?
Well, let me tell you, Daryl Halligan's had plenty of pressure on him. We beat the Great Britain side by Daryl Halligan drop goaling in the last 2 minutes. I don't know why he can't do it again out there tonight.
Namu got the pass to Hoppy, couldn't control it. And the French hang on again. 16 all it is. Inside the last 5 minutes. On tar. McCracken couldn't control it. Now it goes out to Hebert. Final tackle. It's back to Coles. Ridge. What can they do in this set of 6? Henry Paul. Almost back to the halfway mark. Now it's Blackmore. The crowd looking for one or some of the New Zealanders to pull a bit of magic out. Lomax. Play on. Lomax has lost it. The French have it. On tar. If they can hold on even for a draw, the French, they will treat it like a great victory. They play Canada in a one-off test in Quebec on the way home next Sunday. That is really a promotional game. This one really matters.
Well, the French coach is down in front of me. He's strolling up and down the sideline, getting pretty excited.
Why wouldn't he, Toddy?
It's been a great effort, hasn't it?
Savon into touch. Good defence by Halligan. He needed to make that tackle because Savon is a flyer.
Pretty silly play, though, from the French side, trying to take the Kiwis on the outside. Their tactic of dropping the ball, kicking the ball, a grubber kicking behind the New Zealand line was working very well from them. They've now thrown that tactic away, and it could prove very, very costly. Great tackle there from Daryl Halligan.
The scrum on the halfway mark. Stephen Kearney goes back on after his 10 minutes in the sin bin. Namu, they haven't given him much room tonight. The last time France won a test against New Zealand was 12 tests ago, 1980. They won 6-5 at Perpignan. Now it's 16-all. Blackmore! Can he do it for New Zealand? No! Great defence again by the French, scrambling back in cover. Namu, Freeman, nowhere to go. Back inside it goes to Henry Paul. Pongia straightens up. The full-time siren sounds. Kearney, if they get it wide, they'll score. No, the French have stopped it. It's all over at Palmerston North. Knock on. The referee hasn't heard the hooter. The touch judge is on. The French will celebrate this for many months to come. Gary Freeman doesn't get a win in his final test on New Zealand soil. 16-all, New Zealand and France, after New Zealand led by 16-8 at the break. They have been a very good side tonight, the French. They have upset the New Zealand party. They've given the New Zealand selectors plenty to think about. Just 1 week out from the opening test against the Kangaroos at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane.
Yeah, Clarkie, plenty of good individual efforts from the New Zealand side, but the teamwork was lacking. No cohesive play there. Daryl Halligan didn't get that opportunity for the field goal at the end of the play, but those Frenchmen, you can't blame them for celebrating. It's been a fantastic effort from those guys. Underrated amateur players. They're very, very happy. New Zealand crowd certainly not happy. The referee, he's had a less than ordinary performance out there tonight. The French players very happy. I don't think they'll get too many waving back at them. But they're sportsmen, the French. They've come here to play rugby league. They're not worrying about bombs or anything like that. Certainly a difficult time for a French touring side here out here at the moment. But they have played very, very well over the 160 minutes of rugby league so far.
Disappointment for Johnny Lomax, calling his players back out onto the field. Henry Paul got more of a look at the test scene tonight.
He's the man I feel sorry for. Gary Freeman didn't deserve to finish his tests on New Zealand soil on a game like today.
Full time, 16-all, New Zealand and France.